What's up, everybody? This is Presto, and you are listening to episode 126 of the Nintendads podcast. Let's go racing! For those of you watching along at home, I have my race wheel in front of me just because that's where it's mounted for the rest of time. Because today we are talking about one of my most anticipated games of the year that has finally come out, Forza Horizon 6. So good. So good. And some other news, because we've had some other little dribs and drabs of news, but this is mostly going to be finally come out our initial impressions and I guess review in progress of Forza Horizon 6. Delicious. What have you been playing? I mean, this seems like a
besides Forza Horizon 6, you mean?
Almost a redundant question, yeah.
Tears of the Kingdom, Breath of the Wild, Mario Party.
Mario Party? Oh, which one? The latest one?
Party.
Superstars? I don't know. It might be Bonanza. There's Donkey Kong Bonanza. I would be surprised if they used Bonanza in 2.
Jamboree. Sorry, Jamboree.
Jamboree, of course.
Mario Party.
Of course.
I'm not a huge fan of Jamboree as I was Mario Party 8.
Mario Party 8. Well, they had 8, they had 9, and then they had Superstars, and then they had Jamboree, or Jamboree and then Superstars. I don't know. I've never really been on the Mario Party bus.
I enjoyed Mario Party Superstar.
That was the one that had all the old Nintendo 64 levels and minigames. That's why everybody liked it.
9 was the one with a go-kart. I wasn't.
They just play Mario Kart at that point, right? I have been playing Forza Horizon 6 pretty much exclusively. I was playing a lot of Diablo leading up to that. However, my son, it's been a minute since we did an episode, so happy Mother's Day, I think, to all the moms out there, because I don't think we've done an episode since Mother's Day. But my son sold flowers on Mother's Day. He used his own money. He bought $60 worth of flowers. He set up shop the day before Mother's Day. The town next to us has a big Treasure Day, garage sale. And every Mother's Day now, he sets up and he sells the flowers. And he earned enough money that he put some money in his piggy bank. And then he bought Meetup in Bella Bell Park, which is the DLC, the $20 DLC that just came out for Mario Wonder. Which Mario Wonder, if you haven't played it, it's very much themed around the Flower Kingdom. So it's very appropriate that he sold Mother's Day flowers to pay for Bella Bell Park. So he's been playing this. Bella Bell Park features a lot of challenge levels, a lot of post-game bonus stuff, a big focus on cooperative and competitive multiplayer. And I've played a little bit with him, but I told him, I'm like, yeah, give me your thoughts on Bella Bell Park for anybody interested, because I'm going to talk about it on the podcast. And he said it is absolutely worth the $20 because there's a huge amount of replayability. You get badges that are 2 badges in 1. You earn a lot of different flowers, and you can grow stuff, and there's a lot of progression inside the DLC. So, qualified recommendation from an 8-year-old. If you liked Mario Wonder, you will love Meetup in Bella Bell Park, especially if you have friends to play with, which he does because he forces all of his friends and me to play Mario Wonder. So worth the $20. Nintendads certified recommendation. Bam.
Okay.
Uh, Speaking of delicious things, what have you been drinking, Corporal? What are you sipping on this fine Memorial Day weekend?
I am a bunch of strawberry.
Ooh, they put two flavors in. There's enough room
There's enough
in
room.
LaCroix for two flavors.
Yeah, strawberry. A warehouse had
Both. No, there's a strawberry warehouse over here. There's a peach warehouse over here.
a water factory in the middle.
Yes, yeah. I am sipping on. I'm officially in iced coffee season, so
Yep.
I've been pumping out flat whites, which is just espresso and steamed milk, but in my case, it's just iced oat milk. And I drink too much of it. It's a problem. I have caffeine addiction, but it's okay. Onward, onward, and upward.
And
You've
upward.
played, if you've played Mario Wonder, that's a little thing.
Big news in the
Yes,
Switch world.
I would say medium-sized news, but
Okay.
good news.
Yeah.
Good
Yeah.
news. So the Switch 2 is getting a price bump in September. However, Nintendo, they're doing this because of the global economy and the market and tariffs and all that fun stuff, chip prices. But they are offering a Switch 2 pick the game of your choice bundle for $500. Previously, the Switch 2 is only bundled with Mario Kart World, but they are now offering a bundle, I think starting in June, where you're going to be able to pick with your Switch 2 for $500 Mario Kart World, Donkey Kong Bonanza, or Pokemon Pokopia. Which I think is good. That's their way of sort of
Yeah.
being like, we're raising the prices, but we're going to give you a leg up because they've changed the pricing on digital software. I'm assuming these are all going to be digital redemptions on these three games. Corporal, as someone who is going to purchase a Switch 2 in the near future, which game are you going to pick with this package? Because I assume that you're going to get this
Honestly,
bundle.
of this group, I probably would get Mario Kart World as something that family. Online for it. I love to play Donkey Kong. A lot of great things. I'm not dying.
Yeah, it is. I mean, Mario Kart World is like the go-to, especially if you have kids. It's a great family game. You can play it online with your friends. Donkey Kong Bonanza, I would say, is the closest thing you can get to Donkey Kong 64 in a modern game.
Okay.
So, you should check it out at some point. However, I would say of these three games, I think the best game from like an objective sense, if you're looking at
Oh yeah,
which
yeah, yeah.
game is the best game, I would have to say Pokopia. I mean, it's
Pokopia
it's a
definitely.
cozy game. It's a specific flavor for a specific, type of person, but I think Pokopia is the best. I think that will sell the most. I think out of those three games, that will be
It's
the
very
bundle one that gets
addictive.
purchased the
I
most.
played it myself under Jeff's account.
Oh man.
But what I will say is that I don't know if entire family's cup of tea. Therefore,
Sure,
hours will be
yeah.
wasted on. And none of these options matter to me. Zelda game, Golden fan.
Right? It's like, can I just get the pre-order
Yeah,
for the new Zelda game as part of the bundle? Pretty please.
I'll hold on to this voucher that says it's gimme.
Or honestly, if they bundled it with Star Fox, that would be the move.
Yeah, Star Fox. Yeah, that'd be a
I'm surprised. I mean, I don't know because Mario Kart World, Bonanza, and Pokopia are all $70 games,
yep.
and Star Fox is going to be a $50 game. I still think that would be a better bundle.
Yeah. Yep.
This is kind of obscure, and
Yeah.
I saw a video for it, and I saw the video posted on social media one time, and I was like, "Oh, this is really random. I'm gonna save this," and I saved it, and that has been my only interaction or hearing about this game. It is called
The announcement trailer came out
Pictonico.
Yeah, the announcement trailer came out 5 days. Pictonico.
Pictonico.
They've got a website, pictonico.net.
Oh, okay.
App?
It's a
The
mobile.
mobile, so that you
It's a
can
mobile game.
mess with.
It's you know what it very much reminds me of? It so you take a picture and then like you use those pictures to play mini games. And
It's
this
like a
very
virtual make
much
your own neat, but the interactive or picture, and it very much like not
very
AI,
weird.
but like AR.
It reminds me of did you have a Game Boy camera?
Oh my gosh, yeah. Uh,
That is what all of these games remind me of.
yeah.
Where it's like these slightly like off color, like why am I like if anybody walked up to you playing one of these games out of context, they would be like, uh excuse me? Also with a little WarioWare thrown in there,
Yeah.
I think.
Think of Mario 64 when you got to like manipulate the Mario in the very beginning, like and stuff. It's kind of like that.
I can see that. Or is this Nintendo starting to harvest our facial
Yeah.
recognition data?
Yep.
That's not usually Nintendo's jam. If Nintendo's going to do something like creepy or like overt invasion of privacy, they'll just come up and tell you. Just be like, if you want to use your Switch, you have to submit a picture of your face.
Yeah.
We won't explain further. But yeah, this looks like I mean, I'll probably download it and try it, but why? Why?
Yeah.
Who
I
asked
don't
for
know.
this?
Not
Anyway,
not something that I am for into, but
no. And I've heard exactly nobody talking about it. Like I
yeah,
saw the one post and it comes out in 4 days. I haven't heard anybody say anything about it.
comes out
I don't know.
everywhere on iOS. I'm looking at the
It looks very Japanese. That I think that's
yeah.
the market that they were going made this for.
Although, oddly enough, on Android, now that I'm going Android list, smaller than the iPhone.
Huh. Maybe there's some features that integrate with one more than the other. I don't know. Ooh, what is this next thing you have here?
So there's been a lot of about what's happening space, right? PlayStation has decided to back out a lot of cross console applications, allowing their games. CEO taking over Microsoft and the Xbox gaming division. There's been a lot of announcements of um, Microsoft trying to go back to well. one of the biggest announcements that Microsoft has away with all of it. This is an Xbox advertising, trying to imply that the Xbox platform is phone, tablet, the Xbox anywhere, everywhere. Um, they
Yeah,
have
there's not a ton of incentive to own an Xbox if you have other devices.
not only that, but also most of their games ported out to other consoles platforms. So you weren't even required to stay within their ecosystem platform. Nintendo, um, Xbox, Xbox, Xbox,
Helix.
and console that rival everything at the market and supposed to um support any Xbox game currently play games and Xbox, as well as being backwards compatible.
Turn your gain up on your mic just a pinch. I can hear you fine, but I see the levels and it's not you're not
Okay,
coming
is
through
that
super
better?
loud. Yeah. So I think I heard a previous rumor which doesn't have any of those details, but I heard that the next Xbox console, I heard that their Xbox is trying to get Microsoft is trying to get out of the gaming hardware space, and this next console is going to cost north of $1,000.
So the rumors that came out just recently was that the Xbox Helix is going to stick to the $600 price tag, but that is preliminary, and I think that is highly dependent on where the manufacturing chip market goes right now. And we know that that's
Yeah.
extremely volatile with political tensions and everything else that's in. So we'll see how that changes. But I've heard some very
I feel like throughout PlayStation
with
5's extreme dominance in the console market, I feel like people who are on the PlayStation track are not considering Xbox at this point. The only people who are considering Xbox are people who are casually into PC gaming, people who maybe have a Switch that want to play games that never make it to Switch, and Xbox people who are like, what am I doing with my life? Do I just want to give up on video games? This shit is too expensive.
yeah.
Um, so I hope that they can make something that appeals to the segment of market that they still have some influence over. They're gonna be competing with the Steam box if the Steam
Yeah.
box does half the things that it says it's gonna do. Because if Xbox is coming out and they're like, this is basically a Windows gaming thing that runs Xbox and PC games, and then Steam comes out and says this is a Steam OS built on top of Windows machine that does the same thing. I don't think Xbox has enough console exclusives that's gonna, if they're around the same price, that's gonna make a huge difference. I don't know. There was no time frame set for this Project Helix, right?
No. And there's reports that they are partnering with AMD for the RDNA 5 archetype processing chip. Um,
Okay.
but that chip is also being heavily featured in a lot of AI stuff. So we'll see what their approach is going to be, and I'm sure that's going to change the price.
I mean, I am kind of an AMD guy.
Yeah,
I've had
yeah.
AMD in my main computers for like a decade now, so I that might get me interested. Although I can't imagine buying an Xbox over a Steam box if I'm going to buy anything. Last little bit of news before we hit the road. not hit the road like we're going to leave, hit the road like we're going to start reviewing the driving game, is Bungie announced that they are ceasing development for content on Destiny 2. This is huge and was immediately followed by pretty massive layoffs at Bungie. And word on the street and social media is that the entire or the vast majority of the Destiny 2 team did not know that they were ceasing production in true Bungie fashion. Nobody knew about it until it was like publicly announced or right before it was publicly announced.
Yeah.
So Bungie continuing to be haunted by the consequences of their bad decisions and somehow get to make more bad decisions.
Is this, we talked about this off camera, but is this directly related to Marathon, or is this something else?
I think so. I mean, I think Destiny 2, they've been trying to make Destiny 2, back to its former glory for years. I think they were going to have a hit with Marathon. Marathon got delayed, got caught stealing art, and then came out to a pretty mediocre reception. So I kind of think this is it for Bungie.
Yeah.
Like their big game that they've been working on for years in Marathon kind of failed, and they're wrapping up production on the only thing that most people know Bungie for, the only success in Destiny 2, and there's no Destiny 3 coming, guys. It's not in pre-production, it's not in production. There's no Destiny 3 project on the horizon, which they clarified because some people were like, Destiny 2 is wrapping production. Destiny 3 announcement incoming. And it's like, no, layoffs incoming. That's the opposite direction.
Let that horse die.
And if you tuned in last time, the piece of news that we had was PlayStation was reporting a loss of like $150 million or something.
Yep.
Because Bungie's underperforming. So I kind of think this is the death knell for Bungie. I think this is it. I think they've been making shitty decisions for like the better part of a decade, and it's the market is finally catching up with them. The question is Bungie gonna get shuttered, or is Bungie gonna get bought on fire sale back to Microsoft? Can you imagine that the hot potato that is Bungie
coming back
from Microsoft to PlayStation back to Microsoft? Because
I don't think Microsoft,
Xbox,
especially under the new CEO, I don't think that they're going to do that. I think that they're going to try.
Yeah, but what if they get a real good deal? When have you ever known Microsoft to pass up an acquisition for a good price?
That's Microsoft of the past. I think we are under a new stewardship. I think we're going in a different direction.
Could be, but they're talking about exclusives.
Okay.
If you have Bungie work on it, I don't know. I think Bungie's been out of the mix for so long. If you tried to have them make a Halo game, they would be like, nobody who worked on a Halo game still works here.
The next 5 years of Halo is going to be remastering and redoing all of the older games under the new engine with the new graphics. They've already made that clear. I think
so. Maybe it'll come out for Switch too.
I think that's kind of
Nintendo's
division.
Thing.
It is. I think they have a whole nother division in ARM dedicated to what the future of Halo will look like, and I don't think Bungie.
No, I don't think so either. So, sorry, Bungie. Sucks to suck. Yeah.
But speaking of actually good games that we want to talk about, let's get into the main steak and potatoes of today's episode. Everybody, grab your wheels, hit your clutch, and put the gas to the pedal. Forza Horizon 6.
Boom. Forza Horizon 6 has come out to an incredibly good reviews, amazing reception. Let me see if I can find the sales numbers here.
I
Do,
mean,
do,
critics
do.
are, and I quote,
Ooh,
calling it a goddamn masterpiece.
it is
That's a
it.
quote.
They are circling on 5 million copies sold in the first week. Bah. Wait, Forza Horizon 6 sells 4.9 million copies despite Xbox Game Pass cannibalizing revenue, says analyst. So even though this game is day one on Game Pass, they still sold 5 million copies.
Yeah, I believe that.
Damn.
Metacritic is giving it a 10 out of 10. Amazing game with
Excuse?
perfect graphics and very strong optimism.
I mean, the game runs. I am blown away by how well.
$325 million won of sales.
Shit. All right, let's go through this. Number one, there has never. I'm pretty sure. Hold on, let me check this before I make this big statement.
Put your foot in your mouth.
Put my foot on the gas.
Full stop. Forza
I
Horizon
need to check
6 is
this.
Metacritic's highest rated game of the year.
Yes, that's crazy. That's a nutty thing to say.
Yeah.
So the only time that there has ever been a game of the year nomination that was a racing game was in 2004 with Burnout 3.
Really?
For the Video Game Awards, it didn't win,
Yeah.
but that's the only time a racing game has been nominated. I think it would be crazy for this not to be nominated for Game of the Year.
Okay.
I can't imagine. I also can't imagine it winning Game of the Year
No.
if GTA 6 is coming out.
GTA 6.
Anybody can afford GTA 6 when it comes out.
Yeah.
But I mean, I will say that this is very, very likely my game of the year. I know we're only in May, not even halfway through just about halfway through the year, actually.
Most.
But I will say this is very, very likely my game of the year. Very likely.
Okay. It is an amazing game. It is extremely beautiful. I think the mechanics are phenomenal. That's in my office, flying around my face, trying to kamikaze my head.
Yeah,
There's
let's break it down. Let's break it down because there's a lot. Let's be structured
sure.
in our approach since there's so much to talk about here. Let's start. Let's set the scene. Cherry blossoms, anime, ramen delivery. The setting is Japan. Fans of this series have been asking. So if you're not familiar with Forza Horizon series, every game, Forza Horizon 1 through 5, always focuses on a specific country and a specific region that the game is based. And the whole game is very much influenced by the car culture of that place. So Forza Horizon 5, which is the only one that I've played before 6, was set in Mexico. So a lot of Baja racing, a lot of trail, a lot of very, very immersed in the Mexican culture of cars.
Mm-hmm.
People have been asking for Japan since Forza Horizon 1.
Yep.
And because there's a super strong, very pronounced
racing scene. Yeah.
Racing scene, drift scene, street racing. Yes, obviously
Car
there's,
clubs. Yeah.
half a dozen, different car manufacturers from Japan. Toyota, Honda, Nissan, like there's so many. So the setting is Japan, and I think they lean into it in so many ways, and they pull it off beautifully. The damn map is so big. This is the biggest open world racing map I think ever. I mean, it's at least I think 2 or 3 times bigger than 5. Um and it's gorgeous, it's huge, and it's dense as hell
Yep. Yep.
because there are so many activities, and as you progress through the game, more and more activities become unlocked. There's little
Not just
mascots.
activities and density of activities, but density of the world itself.
Yeah, I felt like in Forza Horizon 5, there were a lot of like really big open areas where it was just like, this is where we grow cactus. Have fun. And it was just like huge open spaces. And there are some, farm places in rural areas, but I feel like this map is a lot more dense. You're in the city,
Villa! Welcome
you're in
in,
the
TS Villa.
woods.
Try,
Yo, Villa, what's up?
Try Kingdom over here being a smartass.
Of course.
Much love to
Of
you
course.
both. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Villa, we gotta get on some racing, dude. We've been having some convoys. We'll get to the multiplayer stuff, but what are your favorite things about the map specifically, or the activities specifically? Because there are a lot of different things you can do on this map.
See, I am a different kind of racer. I like damage, destruction. I like barreling through things. I like overwhelming speed that just causes mayhem. GTA, like street racing, to me is like pinnacle racing. I love that type of destructive racing. That to me is fun. So, like, being able to drive through like dense forests and get achievements for chopping down woods, or like you have to find certain markers or certain plushies or mascots to hit destroy as like hunt and seek and destroy mission achievements, I think is a lot of fun.
I love the mascots. They're little, so each region of the map has a different mascot based on a food from that region. So you have like edamame beans, you have dango, you have ramen, you have oma rice. Like there's all these different things, depending on the region that you're in. You smash them, and there's like 200 of them on the map.
Yeah.
I have collected over half of them.
That's awesome.
I really like the drift zones because I like
You
drifting.
love to drift, yeah.
I do like my drift, but I really like the time attack mode, which is new.
Yep.
Which
Time
is
attack is new for this game.
you find a course or a track. I found almost all of them have been closed circuit tracks, but you pass the starting line, the open world, and your checkpoints appear and the timer starts, and you do a hot lap, and it records your time. And around the track there are like digital billboards that show you and your time. It shows the world leaders, it shows if you're in the top 50%, top 10%, whatever, and then it shows the next best time that's just a few milliseconds faster than you, and it says like, this is your new target, this is your new rival to beat their time. Or if you have a friend that's on your friends list and their time is close to you, it will show your friend as your new rival on, not in a menu, just on a physical billboard next to the track. And you can just rip around the track as many times as you want with no interference and just set lap times. And I find anytime I see those on the map, I'm like, oh, let me just put some numbers on the board. You get experience, you get progression, but I can't think of a single time that I've done that and I've done one lap and then stopped. I always do like 3 or 4. and I'll switch cars, and then it's 2 in the morning. That's
Switch car, yeah. So like, I love being able to collect the different cars. I am personally trying to collect all the different cars
that's
that
why you never have any credits.
that's right. I keep trying to collect cars that I have driven. I've worked in dealerships before. I've owned lots of different vehicles myself, and in my company, we consistently have to rent different vehicles for various things. So I have driven a large plethora of cars. So I hope to have a garage filled with all the cars I've ever driven.
I think that's a cool goal. And you're driving the truck that you drive that's like your everyday driver, right?
Yeah, I'm currently driving a Ram 1500 painted in dark hunter green, which is my current everyday driver. When I started the company that I currently work at, I was given a Rubicon Jeep Wrangler, the truck. And just last night, I purchased a Jeep Wrangler in Forza Horizon 6, and I tuned it out so hard that when I even like feather pedal the gas, this truck flies. And like, I cannot use it in a race because it's a bird. It just takes off.
You
So,
should take it to the drag strip and see what it can do.
ooh, that's
Because I've
probably
I've been beaten. I've been beaten by pickup trucks. My Porsche has been beaten by pickup trucks. I can shamefully admit.
well, I bet you that this Jeep Wrangler will give you a run for money on a drag race then.
We should drag race after this because I think we're gonna try and stream a little bit. But this, I'll say one more thing about the map. The map and the density of activities, and you'll do one activity and then you'll see a mascot on the radar that you want to try and find, and then that will lead you to this, and then there's a car on sale right there, let me go. There's aftermarket cars that you can buy. This feels very much like when I first started playing Breath of the Wild.
Ah,
And
okay,
you
yeah.
start and you find a shrine, and then what's this over here? And it's like one little breadcrumb leads to another thing.
Hmm.
This open world map very much feels like that in the best way possible.
I think the world and the reason why I got excited, it is very lived in. Like it feels very dense. It feels very fleshed out. It feels very thoughtful. Um, it feels very realistic. I feel like there could be more cars, like more
Yeah,
other drivers.
traffic density
Yep.
is a
One other thing
requested
about the map
feature.
that I'll say is that while you get to create an avatar and dress your avatar and shape your avatar the way um that's really it for your avatar. You can make it dance and whatnot, but as far as the map goes, the other avatars, like the other people that are in the world that are just ambient background people, they are so non-reactive to you as a player on this map. You could be flying 180 miles an hour and slam right into a wall, but the people sitting next to that wall who are eating dinner, like it's a painting. Like they do not
Yeah,
care. I
no,
wish there was
especially
more world interactiveness to you as the player.
especially if you're coming off a game like Cyberpunk 2077. I mean, if you're walking down the street and you bump into somebody, they'll turn around and threaten to kill you, which
Yep.
is not quite the vibe that we're going for here, but
I just want
the
them to be scared and
reactivity.
try to run away if I like slam my pickup truck into their Lamborghini. I don't know. Not that I
A
want it to
lot
be
of
GTA. I don't want to like pick a fight with somebody on the road. I just want the world to react more to me.
I have heard people that live in Japan play this game and they're like, this is like frighteningly accurate.
Oh, really?
They're like, I drive down this road and this is like the same road that I drive to work. And it's like from the
Oh.
roads, and the people in Japan are like, this captures the Japanese driving experience very, very accurately, aside from, traffic and density and slamming into walls and not actually in Japan that might be a thing. You might be able to slam into a wall and people are just not noticing you, pretending you're not there. Don't look at the American. Don't look at. They will invade our country if you make eye contact. Don't act like they're not even there. That's the only way to deal with these people. Let's talk about the driving mechanics.
Okay.
It's lovely. It just feels good. I
I
played a lot of Forza Horizon 5 right before this came out, and the difference between the two is very noticeable to me. I mean, I have some of the cars unlocked in 6 that I had in 5, and I mean I can tell the difference. It's very noticeable.
so I because I was curious. Forza Horizon 6 map is a highly detailed theme park interpretation of Japan. Rather than being a one-to-one geographic recreation, the playground games condensed a lot of real-world distances, iconic landmarks, mountain ranges, and buildings to its map. So a lot of people can see areas that they highly recognize stitched up against other areas that are just as iconic from nearby regions. So it makes sense that there's a lot of things that look extremely similar, especially if it's a major highway or a road. But it is not a direct copy,
Yeah,
which is
it's
cool.
not like a one-to-one thing of Tokyo because it would be like,
It would, yeah, yeah,
too
it'd be
big.
cool. So that's the last thing I want to say about the map. Sorry, back to the mechanics. Um, every individual car has its own deep individual mechanics, and you can feel how those mechanics with the road change. Um, you can feel the mechanics of your tires change depending on whether or not you're on asphalt, concrete, pebblestone, dirt, grass, rock. Like you can truly feel same vehicle on different terrain have dramatic changes its movement. So they did a really good job at like capturing the slip of a tire when the dynamic weather kicks in and it starts raining.
I also feel like because Forza Motorsport has essentially been discontinued, I
Mm.
feel like they put a little bit more realism in this. This is not a simulator. It's not Assetto Corsa. It's not Forza Motorsport. But I feel like this this rides the line of sim racer and arcade racer, definitely much closer to sim racer
Yeah,
than any game that I've played that isn't just like this
one or
is
the
a
other.
racing simulator. Yeah,
Yep.
this is the closest. This is the most. It's either the most arcade like simulator or the most simulator like arcade. Like
Arcade game. Yeah, right
right in the
somewhere there.
middle where I really like it. And I think they did that intentionally because if there's no more motorsport, they don't want to totally lose people who want to, seriously race. Um, and I've seen a surprising amount of people playing this game and streaming this game with a wheel. Where Forza Horizon 5, people were like, you can play with a wheel. It's okay. But it's really a controller game. I think to be competitive in Forza Horizon 6, if you're trying to set really good lap times and you're trying to race other people, I still think controller is the optimal way to
Yeah,
play it.
yeah.
Um,
Controller definitely you have an advantage.
but there's a lot of races that, especially like the off-road and the rally, where you're playing with a little more suspension and you need to feel the road a little bit more. I feel like the wheel really shines in those
Mm-hmm.
environments. Some people swear by the wheel for drifting. I can't do it yet. I can only drift on controller. But I would say playing on the wheel is definitely more fun for me for everything outside of drifting. I like getting put in first person and cruising on the wheel. I definitely like playing multiplayer on the wheel. That's
Yeah,
very fun.
yeah.
Um,
My from a realistic standpoint, and maybe it's because it's so arcadish that the speeds at which I am traveling are not speeds that I am normally traveling in. Despite the fact that I have experience driving many of these cars, the traction for a lot of these vehicles is so much more amped up. And I'm not sure if that's the arcade style of the mechanics or if that's just an enhancement of the speed at which I am traveling and therefore it's exaggerated. I don't feel like the cars are as heavy or are held to the ground as much as what I would have expected. But again, that may be because of either enhanced arcadeness of it or the enhanced speed at which I am traveling and I'm not used.
Yeah, and this is also your first game that you have a wheel for, right?
Correct. But I mean, I've played controller on a lot of other racing games, and I feel like those vehicles were heavier or held better.
Yeah.
I don't
Well,
know.
go next time you have an opportunity. Go on your street, get in your truck, pick a speed. It's like 20, 30 miles an hour. And just take a note of like, okay, I'm going to stop here or I'm going to make this turn and I'm going to see how it feels. And then go in the game and do the exact same thing. And I think you'll be surprised at how close it is. I think the difference is when you're traveling 60 or 70 miles an hour in a truck in real life, you're traveling every time you feel it in your body. When you're traveling, the only difference between 60 to 70 miles an hour and 110 miles an hour in the game, you don't feel it. It's just a number that
Hmm.
if you're traveling that fast, you tend to not look at. So I think the traction is probably realistic. I think it's just the lack of body feel in the vehicle that makes the difference.
Tesla is currently not featured in Forza Horizon 6, which hurts me because a Tesla vehicle is the only vehicle that I've driven at 120 miles an hour. So that's the only vehicle I could probably actually compare speeds to.
What Tesla did you drive that fast?
Yes.
Is it's a car or is it a Cybertruck?
Car.
Okay.
Can you see Jeff in a truck?
I kind of. That's yeah, that's interesting. Um but yeah, what is next? The cars. Perfect segue.
Yep, yep.
Um I think I think there's 525 or 550 cars. There has been criticism from the Forza Horizon community that a lot of sort of iconic cars that have appeared in past games are not in this game. But you have to keep in mind it's week 1.
Yeah.
There's no DLC, there's no seasonal update or anything out yet. I think we will see a lot of the cars that people are expecting to see rolled out over time. I think
So
this is a big launch. They're not trying to blow it all
me
immediately.
in my endeavor, in my goal to purchase every vehicle I've ever driven, um, there are NPC vehicles that are on the road that very much are similar to a Subaru Crosstrek or Outback. And there's a huge growing community and Reddit posts, and there's even a forum on the Forza support channel dedicated to bringing those vehicles that are NPC driven in the game in drivable vehicles for players. And I think it's interesting that they would have released or created a vehicle that is ambient to the atmosphere, but not a drivable.
I suppose, but you know what? I bet you have you tried the hide and seek mode yet?
No, only that one time with you, actually.
So the hide and seek mode, if you are a hider, you get put in those vehicles. You get put in like the stock Jeep or the stock, Ford F-150 or whatever. And I don't think I haven't played it. I've only played a couple rounds of hide and seek in 6. I don't think there's any I don't think there's any Subaru cars, but a lot of the NPC cars that you see around are drivable in hide and seek. So I have to
Okay.
believe either they're available in the game through like wheel spins or something, or they're in the system, they're in the code of the game, and they just haven't been unlocked to acquire yet.
And to your point, we are week one. There are so many more things that they're going to release for this game, and there's plenty of things I'm sure they got planned that just haven't been released code and just not out yet.
Also, you have to keep in mind that this is Japan, and they are absolutely and obviously emphasizing cars that you would see in Japan in the
Yep.
Japanese market first and foremost.
Yeah.
So if you're looking for other cars, domestic cars to the United States, you might be waiting a little bit, but I think they'll show up eventually.
Yeah.
I want to talk about the progression because I think both of us, having played Forza Horizon 5, the biggest sticking point in a bad way is you don't know what the hell to do. The menus are
Oh my
confusing.
god, yeah.
You don't know what you have to do next. And I think the UI and the menuing in Forza Horizon 6 is much, much better.
Worlds and light years and leaps and leagues above Forza Horizon 5 was. UI in this game dramatically changes for me my experience. I think
Yes.
that if I genuinely booted up this game and I had the exact same UI that I had in Forza Horizon 5, I probably wouldn't have.
Oh, okay.
Like, I need to be able to understand what's going on. From a map standpoint, they've made it so much more visible to understand what's in the world and what's around you. From a UI standpoint, categorize things in a more visual manner that makes sense for each one of their chunks. But I think the one aspect of the UI that truly helps your progression is the introduction of your AI assistant, Anna.
Yeah, and Anna was in Forza Horizon 5, but the what's next aspect
Yeah.
being in the main menu and being able to use it with Anna, where because I think when you did it in 5, it would just take you to a random race.
And you'd
But
have
in
to
this,
know where that was. Like you'd have to like
yeah,
understand what where it was.
in this, you'll say what's next, and it'll give you like four options, and all the options progress your XP. But if you're trying to do the wristbands, the Horizon Festival progression, it will note it. If it's going to be the Exploring Japan, Discover Japan progression, which is the two main systems of progression in the game, it'll note that. And it's just so much more clear. Like it
Mhm.
doesn't require explanation. They're just showing you. Like I watched YouTube tutorials on how to progress and how to know what to do in Forza Horizon 5, and I still had a hard time. Maybe I'm just old and old man yelling at clouds. But Forza Horizon 6, I don't need to look anything up. It's
Yep.
all right
It's
there.
so
Even this
intuitive. Even
even
without
the
Anna, it's
seasonal
intuitive.
even the seasonal playlists, which I've started doing, even though it's really sort of more like an end game content loop, I understand it. It works. I do it.
Let's just touch on that real quick. The seasonal playlist. So every week within the game or real world, depending on your progression of that, every week is a different season. So we just left spring and we are now in summer.
No, it's summer. They started with summer.
They started with summer. Okay.
They
So
started with summer.
they started with summer. And well, what was because I got like an announcement day 2 of the game being out that it started as summer. It was the first day of release not announced as a season.
I think the first day they didn't have a seasonal playlist,
Got it.
and then the second day after
Is
everybody's gotten in and set up, then it's like, okay, here's the
start.
seasonal thing.
So you
So
start
this
as summer.
Yeah, so the first seasonal playlist it's a month long, it's 4 weeks, and each week is a season. So you have summer, fall, winter, spring. And
Does the environment correctly? impacted by the season.
Yes, it does.
That is like, so not only is there dynamic weather throughout the day, there's also mechanically seasonal change.
Yes. Yeah,
That's phenomenal.
we're gonna get snow. We're
I
gonna get snow in a few weeks.
I cannot wait.
And each week is you have a bunch of very specific tasks or challenges that you have to do. And this is why it's more end game content, because they're very specific. So it'll be like, okay, so there's 50 points that you can earn for your seasonal reward this week. And at 20 points, you get a free car. And at 30 points, you get a free car. And there's a whole list of things you have to do. So if you do this specific speed trap, which is you have to go through it at a high speed, you have to earn 3 stars with an A-class car that was manufactured in Japan. And you go on the seasonal thing and you read, okay, A-class car, 3 stars, made in Japan. And if you meet those requirements, you get 5 points towards the seasonal playlist. So there's a whole menu of things, and you have to complete the ones that you think you can pull off in order to get the points to unlock your stuff. And each individual challenge, like you might get a wheel spin, you might get a car reward, you might get an emote. But the big rewards are there's usually 2 cars at 20 points and 30 points, or 10 points and 40 points, that you can unlock. But you have to go to the seasonal playlist and you have to look at the requirements, because you can blow through that. I did that speed trap one like 4 or 5 times. I finally got 3 stars, but I didn't get the points. And then I read that it needed to be done with an A-class car that was made in Japan. I was blowing through it with an S2 class car, but that's not
Not
that circumvents the challenge.
Yep.
So I did it with an A-class car. I think I did it with Honda Civic Type R. Or no, I did it with I don't know what I did it with, but I did it. I did it. That's the important part. So the seasonal progression is really nice. The Horizon wristband progression takes a lot longer than I would have thought, because I've been playing this game, and I'm only about halfway through that progression system. And I'm also halfway through the Discover Japan progression system. So I'm loving it. But I think the progression is good. There's a huge amount of variety. And you can really focus in and progress one side or the other depending on what your priorities are. Multiplayer. Multiplayer is good but not great.
okay.
I would say it's good but not
I
great.
think the drop in and drop out and the convoy feature works so well in this game compared to a lot of other games that we have played multiplayer for. So
That's fair. That's fair. But I wish the multiplayer, I wish we could have a club or a guild or something that we could all join in and have like a standing convoy that you can just join. I wish that, because when we're driving around and we want to do a race, only the convoy leader can initiate the race. And the convoy leader has to be at that spot to initiate it. And I wish that we could be in a convoy and me, not the leader, could say, hey, I want to do this race. And then the convoy leader could approve it and then do it, instead of you having to drive all the way
or the people in your
to.
convoy can vote on yes, yes, yes.
Yes.
Okay, we're good.
Yeah. And it's like little things. If one person drops out of the event that you're doing, they get kicked from the convoy instead of like staying in it and then rejoining.
Hmm.
There's just a few little. They're a little bit bigger than nitpicks, and there has been some issues with the at launch, which is to be expected. But like, I'm on Steam and you're on Xbox, and I have to add you on Xbox, and sometimes the systems don't quite talk to
Communicate,
each
yeah.
other in a predictable
I
way.
send you an invite and you tell me you haven't gotten it, but then I send it to you a second time and then you get it, or I send it to the Xbox. Receive it then.
Yeah, it's a little weirdness, but overall pretty good.
Yep.
but definitely a little bit of room for improvement. Also, we didn't talk about it, but I think a huge quality of life improvement is being able to fast travel to any point that you've been on the map at any time for free.
Yeah.
Because in 5, you had to unlock fast travel points and you had to pay like 5,000 credits every time you wanted to fast travel, which on a big map, like,
And
kind of
that
sucks.
burns through all of your credits that you would be using. I understand from an end game perspective, you probably have so much credits, it's obnoxious. Therefore, fast
Yeah.
traveling is not a problem. But for trying to start the game and up to that point, that is such a fall behind into or be. So I love the fact that they added it.
Yeah. I also will say that I haven't messed around too much with the estate and the garage customization, but they look really cool. And for the first time, I know this isn't specifically new to Horizon 6, but I started playing with the event labs where you can create a custom track, you can create a custom route. That is, and I started playing some custom events that other people have made,
Oh,
and
okay, yeah.
my mind is blown. It's not fair to gush about it as a review for this game because I know that's been in other games and I just haven't dove into it. But I started to scratch the surface of that because I was curious, and it is awesome.
Yeah.
It is so cool. So that's a good system that they've kept in there. Presentation, the music is amazing, the graphics are amazing. Like it's
We
one of the
got
best looking racing
copyright
games that I've.
flagged for the music on YouTube. We didn't get copyright flagged for it on, I don't think it was Twitch. I think it was YouTube that we got the copyright flag for. But it's a music that was directly in the game, while at the same time it is a commercially accessible uh, music that is made by a true artist. So I understand why maybe their AI system flagged it for us, but I also feel like that's kind of unfair. But that's a criticism not necessarily of the game. That's more of a promotion of the game, that they're actually using real world music, music that you recognize, and it's not just some synthwave beat that they've added into.
Yeah, I mean, I usually am rocking the Hospital Radio drum and bass, and Hospital Radio is a real record label,
Mm-hmm.
and they never enforce or come after copyright on streams because they know it's used in the game. So that's like, if you like drum and bass and you stream, I think you could just use that and you're in safe in
Safe
safe
bet.
territory.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to promote my drum and bass agenda. Uh yeah, I think that I can't think of anything else uh about the game that we haven't talked about. It's
Is
it's
and my side question for this particular game is kind of a two part. Is there a specific car that you want that you don't have yet, or that's not in the game and you want them to add? That's the first part. The second part, is there a certain type of race that you really want to do with a certain type of car?
I will say the only car that I want that I haven't gotten yet. I mean, they're all Porsches.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to have the GT3 RS, or any GT3, because I do like that car. I have an RS4 here, which I was trying to figure out how to work into the background.
Uh huh.
Um, And also, I forget which one it is, but the Porsche Spider was one of my favorite cars to drive around the map in Forza 5. And I've seen it on the auction house, and I just can't afford it yet because it's like $1.5 million, and I still am in the starter home. So I'm trying to save up for cars that I want and a different house on the map because I'm tired of spawning in the mountains.
Yeah.
So probably probably the Porsche. I would say, is there a specific race with the? I mean, I have a Mini Cooper Countryman, and I would love to get a Countryman in the game and do some rally races with it or
Yeah.
some dirt
Yeah.
races with it. I think that would be super fun because I'm never gonna rally race in my Countryman, but I would like to know what that feels like.
So back in the day, I worked at Lexus and I did detailing for cars, and I got to drive only through the parking lot, not very far, but I got to drive when it came out the LFA, Lexus LFA, which at the time was like the world's craziest super racing car that Lexus had, premium. Um, and I'd love to be able to get my hands on an LFA and drive that in like a NASCAR style setting. I also really want to drive in a NASCAR style race, loop de loop with a group of other people, a very traditional, like I know what's coming, I know how to turn. I'm gonna have to do maybe 20 laps around, but it's all about grit and maneuvering your way up. I want to do that.
So you could make that in probably 15
Oh
minutes in
yeah,
the Horizon Event Labs. And
yeah,
I mean, I'm sure it's out there, like a Daytona 500
yep, yep,
simulator. You should definitely do that.
yeah.
Little
That's
Nintendads Cup. Um, I have good news. The 2010 Lexus LFA is in the game, is in
yes,
Forza Horizon
yep.
6. And they have a 2010 Lexus LFA Forza edition. They have a special second edition of the car, which I don't know what the variants are. Um the Forza edition version comes with a Master Explorer award and skill multipliers built into it. So if you can find it,
That's
it's worth it.
that's what I want to do.
If I had to guess, I would say that that car probably spawns as an aftermarket car in the near the Tokyo Drift Club story thing that I was showing
Oh
you on
yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
bottom right
That makes
hand of the
sense.
map. I do also love. We didn't talk about it too much, but I love cruising the map and finding aftermarket cars to buy, as well as the treasure cars and the barn finds. Because it's just a cool little feature that kind of rewards expectations. So, all right, we're gonna stop yapping about the game. I'm gonna go play it. I'm
Yeah.
ready. I have my foot on the pedal. So thanks for tuning in, everybody. I will see you guys on Tuesday or Wednesday for a stream. Have a great week. Enjoy your Memorial Day
Memorial Day
weekend
weekend.
and stay safe out there on the roads.
Cheers.